I'm living out of my travel bag. My suitcase is still packed.
Hi everybody, it's Chelsea and I have an update for you guys. First and foremost, I want to apologize for being a little MIA for like the past week and a half. I've just been like kind of taking a break for a second just to like deal with some personal issues and like figure out where I want to go in life and on this trip and what direction I need to take my channel in order to have it be more successful for you guys and create content that you guys like really like to watch. And I've kind of been experimenting lately to try to figure out what works and what doesn't. If you guys have any suggestions of things that you would like to see or new things that you want to know about when it comes to living like a nomadic lifestyle, if there's any tips that you're looking for or anything like that, please feel free to comment and let me know, because I really want this channel to be for you and things that you enjoy and find helpful. I love doing that kind of stuff. I love keeping you guys updated. I love showing you guys what I'm doing and bringing you with me everywhere. But I also really want this to have a practical side of this channel. Also, a little update that I wanted to share with you guys is that I am pretty determined to have a meetup. A bunch of you guys request that I come to wherever you are on my live streams and stuff, and I think that's a really cool idea and I really want to do that. So while my channel is still relatively small and who knows if it'll grow or not, but whichever, I still have a relatively tight-knit group of people and we've all become friends and we've all talked to each other and we feel like we know each other, and I think it would be really cool if we could all like go camping together somewhere or meet up somewhere. I've posted a survey down below in the link, and I'll try to make it like the pinned comment at the very top of this video as well, and it's basically just asking when you would want to have a meetup and where you would want to have a meetup, and it's just those two questions. So if you are interested in that, please fill out that survey and we're gonna try to figure something out because I really want to do that. Without further ado, let me get you updated on where I am.
I wonder how you are. I guess it'll cross my mind every once in a while.
So last we left off, I was in Glacier National Park with Brooke, where our car broke down and I had to pay a lot of money to get a new starter, which was kind of a setback and also something that I've been trying to deal with lately. But we ended up making some new friends and hanging out with a bunch of people there, getting the car fixed and heading out a few days later. So from Glacier, I had about a week to get to Seattle, which was where I was gonna meet up with my best friend Sydney, who was flying in, and my other best friend Dustin, who was on tour with his band and ending it in Seattle. Brooke and I set out from Glacier in Montana over to the West Coast, and we figured we would just take our time getting there since we had a week to do it and just stop at a bunch of places along the way. However, when we started that drive, we realized that there was not a lot that we wanted to see, and we ended up just driving a straight 14 hours. We stayed in a Walmart there for the night, and then the next day we headed to Olympic National Park on the Olympic Peninsula. It's snowing up here on top of this mountain, and when we were down there it was clear skies and everything was fine, but now we're on top and it's snowing a lot.
But pine trees and memories and deep dazzling rays of the sun, they come around, and when they go, galleries of stars, Venus, Saturn, Mars, spill away, Milky Way. Still lifes and portraits, they're vain, tuppence of wealth, pretentious and preening and sickly careening their overalls into overhauls. Sidewalks cracked, mother broke her back, ain't nothing here for me anyhow. I should have taken that bow when I was ahead. Don't drag me down again. Undoubtedly fetching, too much of their dredgings come up to haunt our waking life.
As well well as going to Olympic National Park, we also headed over to the hot springs that are there, and I didn't bring my camera in there just because it was like a swimming environment and people are in bathing suits and stuff, and I didn't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. But if you ever get the chance to go, definitely go to the hot springs in Olympic National Park and just hang out there for a little bit. It's a naturally occurring hot spring that they've turned into kind of like a giant hot tub, and people come from all over just to sit in it and hang out for a little bit, and it's at a lodge, so it's really cool, and you can get some food there if you're hungry. After that, we got out of there and drove all the way down the peninsula past Tacoma and up to Des Moines, which is where we were staying until I picked up Sydney and Dustin. In case you guys couldn't tell, what I'm currently doing is trying to fix this table bed. This beam broke off, and so I couldn't put the table down on that ledge to make a bed, and I've got 2 guests coming within 48 hours, so I need them to have a place to sleep. I've never done anything like this before, but I'm just doing my best.
Little.
Sydney and I met up with Dustin at his show in downtown Seattle. We had a really good time, other than the fact that this really creepy dude kept following us around for like over an hour, and we were like intentionally moving around spots a lot and even going around the building to see if he would follow us. He definitely did, and it made us really uncomfortable. So after the show was over, we left there and came back to the campsite. The next day, we drove to the town called Snoqualmie. I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's where Twin Peaks was filmed. That's a show that Dustin and I were really into, so we were super interested in seeing the hotel that was filmed in that television show. It sits right on top of a waterfall, and it was insanely beautiful. We only had 1 day there, and so the next day we booked it to a town called Blaine, which sits literally on the border of Canada and the United States. We only had a day there too, so after we unhitched the camper, we drove through customs and into Canada. When we went through customs, we ended up getting stopped. It wasn't very easy for us. I had been to Canada before to go to Niagara Falls with my mom, and it was so easy. We drove up to the thing, handed them our passport, answered a couple questions, and we were in Canada. This time, however, with me, Brooke, Dustin, and Sydney, it was a bit harder. We didn't have Banks with us, we didn't have the camper or anything like that. They ended up asking us a bunch of questions about what we were doing in Canada, how long we were gonna stay, all of this stuff. And we answered them, we were like, we just wanna go to see Vancouver, we've never been before, we're only here for the day, we're coming back the same night. Didn't have anything on us, like, shouldn't have been a hard time, but they ended up making us pull over into the side, getting out of our vehicle, and then going in for more questions. After we were done with that, we had to sit in these seats in the waiting room on the border, and they went and searched our car. Obviously, they didn't end up finding anything that was of suspicion to them. However, when we did get back to the car, it was a little bit trash. Like, they had obviously gone through underneath the seats and everything like that, which was kind of annoying. I'm not really sure why they picked us out in particular to be searched and everything, but just a heads up for any of you guys that are heading to Vancouver from the United States, keep in mind that you maybe should allow for a little bit of extra time in case you end up getting stopped and questioned as well. So once we got through customs and got back in our car and got everything organized again, we ended up sitting in traffic like dead stop, standstill traffic for about an hour. By the way, I do want to apologize for the frequent sound of airplanes going over my head right now. We are right next to the Seattle-Tacoma airport. These planes are pretty relentless. After sitting in traffic for about an hour, going through a tunnel, which made me really uncomfortable, we finally got to Vancouver. I have to say that Vancouver is one of the most beautiful, if not the most beautiful city I have ever been to in my entire life. It was so clean, and you could tell that there was just money everywhere. Everyone was dressed to the nines, everyone was super beautiful, the city was super clean, the public transportation was nice, the buildings were amazing, nothing was really run down, and there were a lot of really cool spots to hang out there. To where the water is, and we ended up going on top of this restaurant called the Cactus Cafe. And in order to promote like an environmentally friendly building, a lot of the buildings have like grass on top and like plants on top of the buildings, and you can go hang out up there and get 360-degree views of the city. Down to a historic marker, which was a clock powered by steam, and that was really cool to see as well. We took a cab over to the Vancouver Public Library, which is 9 stories of beautifully laid out books and research computers, tables that you can sit at, and just all around a good vibe. The taxi cab driver did tell us though that Vancouver literally rains 9 to 10 months out of the year, which to me I can't deal with. I need a little bit of sunshine in order to stay sane. So after exploring Vancouver, we came back to our campground in Blaine, and then the next morning headed back to Saltwater State Park in Des Moines, right next to the airport. And the morning after that, which is today, Cindy and Dustin got an Uber, went to the airport, and flew back to the Carolinas. Now that all of our guests are gone and it's just me and Brooke again, we have gotten the camper set up again to where it's like clean and everything's good. It's not crowded anymore. We organized the car again so that Binks fits in it well. And we are just taking the day to get reaccustomed to just being the two of us. Now I've got about a week and a half before I need to be at my next destination, where I am meeting my mom. She's gonna hang out with us for a few days at the next national park that we go to, and I'm really excited to see her, and she is really excited to come. Anyway, that concludes the last week and a half that I have been missing from YouTube, and I apologize for that sincerely. I did try to do a live stream the other day while I was in Snoqualmie, but I didn't have really good service, and I was just kind of bummed in general that day, so I apologize for that. However, that is all ended now, and I am back. I am going to start editing again, filming again, getting everything reorganized with my channel, and I really look forward to interacting with you guys. I want to go ahead and say thank you to the patrons that have either increased their pledges recently or become new patrons of mine. I really appreciate that. I am going to do a video pretty soon about the true cost of living this lifestyle. And I just want you guys to know that every little bit that you guys contribute to my channel genuinely helps me keep going, and I could not do this without you guys. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you. Even if it's just $1, the fact that you guys support me like that really means a lot to me, and just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you guys are all well, and I will see you in the next one.
Ever since that night, Kyoko won't say a word to me.